a good Luke Campbell or an average Luke Campbell is not going to be even a bad Vasily Lomachenko. So Luke Campbell has to produce a moment or a spell of brilliance in this fight to win. We could do with a little bit of help on the way, Vasily. Maybe a slightly below par performance, or that shoulder operation you had not too long ago, or your broken hand in a crawler fight. If they could reoccur, wouldn't be the end of the world. But I think Luke's in a good place in that he is very confident in his ability to win this fight, and he's got great pedigree. He's a great fighter. I think this is the toughest fight of Lomachenko's career so far. But he's a genius, and that's why we're completely sold out. That's why everybody's coming to watch, because this is a one-off where British fight fans will get the opportunity to watch a legend of the sport in Vasily Lomachenko.
Campbell's reportedly been sparring 3 sparring partners at once. Is this the only way to prepare for this wizard?
I think that is the funniest line I've ever heard, and I think we should all keep believing that.
Moving on to AJ in the desert. Eddie, sell me this vision of this stadium that's going to sprout out of the dunes.
Sell you the biggest heavyweight fight of our generation. Thriller in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle, exactly the same. You have to remember there are 40 million people in Saudi Arabia. 70% of them are under the age of 24. I think there's like this conception that people in Saudi, they don't follow boxing. Are you mad? Do you not think they saw the first fight? This event in Saudi is causing like pandemonium among sports fans. Yes, the backdrop is going to be the dunes of Saudi Arabia. It's going to be in the desert. But the whole world will be watching this event on December the 7th. 1, it was the best heavyweight fight of the year. 2, it's the biggest heavyweight fight of the year. It's an epic fight. But the curiosity of venue, the controversy of the venue, the controversy even of the build-up where Ruiz was in, he was out, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing it, now he's in. Press conferences next week. This event is absolutely huge.
Give us one practical change you think AJ needs to make to ensure it's revenge, not repeat.
I mean, I would say more mindset. I think it's interesting hearing his interviews now with Sky where he says, I didn't really want to fight Ruiz. There was never a moment where we made the fight and he said to me, I don't want to fight Ruiz. But what he means by that is like in terms of motivation, there was no motivation to fight Ruiz. He still wanted to win, he still trained hard, but didn't have that edge. And I think that edge is going to be key. Next week at the press conference, it's the first time as a professional that Anthony Joshua looks in the eyes of a man that's beaten him. And the build-up, the edge of this fight will be totally different. AJ wants to knock him out. He didn't look at him like that in the first prelims. He gave him his belts to carry for a photo. All changed now. So he's got to be sharper. He's got to be better with a jab. He's got to be better with his feet. But it's more about mindset and it's about the will to win, which this time around he has more than ever.
You're a promoter, but you're also a planner. What are you planning for if AJ loses?
I mean, again, it's a tough defeat to take. People say, oh, do you think he's finished? He's 29. He's had 24 fights. He would have lost to one man, and he would have unified the heavyweight division twice. So he's a competitor. He won't, he'll want to rebuild and go again. How you lose is another story. But I see him winning the fight. But I also know it's a very dangerous fight. Mentally, he's got a lot to overcome. But it's going to be epic.
Moving on to some comments, I've just spent some time with Bob Arum. First of all, Bob said that you were wrong to take the Saudi Arabia fight, the fight to Saudi Arabia, because you basically put Ruiz in the driving seat. What do you make of that?
In what respect?
In the respect that when the fight was made in Saudi, Ruiz could then say, "Oh, I don't really want to go over there for the ethical and moral reasons."
And obviously, there was a legal case put forward by us, and he quickly changed his mind. So we didn't have to tell him anything other than where the fight was taking place. What Bob said was, Bob doesn't know the ins and outs, but what Bob said in his comments was, what you should have done was you should have gone to Team Ruiz and asked if he was happy to go to Saudi Arabia. There's nothing for him to be happy about. We've got a contract where we choose the venue. We chose the venue. He was told. From then, it's just a game of negotiation. It's a game of chicken. That's what it is. I'm not going unless you give me more money. Okay, we're going to sue you. Well, hang on a minute, and then eventually you work a deal out which suited everybody. So he's on board. He's at the press conference next week. Bob Arum's jealous because he can't make a big heavyweight fight. Bob Arum's more jealous because he used to have Andy Ruiz. And now he's sick to his pants that he ain't got the world heavyweight champion. Instead, he's making Tyson Fury against Otto Warling, which I wouldn't make my worst enemy watch. That's another story. So we did everything right. We did everything right from a contractual point of view, from a strategy point of view. Ruiz is on board. Monster fight.
Bob also said that the DAZN in America so far has been a bit of a disaster.
I love Bob. I think Bob's a disaster at the moment. His last 2 shows have done about cumulative tickets of less than 2,000. They just announced that his Los Angeles show last week sold 1,400 tickets and he gave away 2,800 comps. That is a disaster for the sport of boxing. So Bob's very good at sort of clouding the picture without realising that he's producing so much dross. He's got Tyson Fury boxing Otto Wallin on Mexican Independence Day. It's a complete flop. It's a disaster and he's doing his conkers. But God bless him, he's 87 years of age and he's a legend.
What does your gut tell you about when we're going to see Dillian Whyte back in the ring?
December, possibly. I mean, he's still got to come out with a clear issue, a clear statement with UCAD to show everybody why he was cleared and why he should be allowed to box again. That's important for his career. They've got to get that right because that's ultra important. But I see him boxing in December.
Talk to us about having 2 bosses with 2 different priorities in DAZN and Sky.
Good question. Always interesting, always difficult, a lot of pressure. You know, I think people just presume that, oh, you got these big TV deals, you got a big budget, you know, that it's just plain sailing. It's not. They want bang for their buck. They want blood. You know, they want 24/7 work, travel, everything. You know, you're at that show. Why aren't you at this show? Okay, I'm flying back. Well, back here we've got a press conference. You know, we've got UK, Italy, and America. We've got press conferences. We've got 2 or 3 press conferences a week, and I'm required to be at all of them. Weigh-ins, shows. So they don't care if you're tired or you don't see your family. They just want blood. But I'm getting paid for it. So keep your mouth shut and get on with it.
Last question we're asking everybody today: who's your pound-for-pound best fighter in the world at the moment?
Luke Campbell. He will be
Eddie Hearn.
Saturday night.
Eddie Hearn, thanks for being to the Sportsman.
Cheers, mate.